Curse of Capistrano by Johnston McCulley. It's a great story, adventures, full of action and full of fights, great fights. Fight for the right. But it's also a story of sweet love and nice romance, pure feeling between young people. Our main character, Zorro, courageous, the adventurous, yet the cautious. He knows when to be in the scene, and he knows when to flee. He has only one target: to defend the poor, to defend those who cannot defend themselves. But we have 7 other characters. Let's start with Sergeant Gonzalez. He's the man from the army, an important man in the army indeed. But he thinks about money most of the time. He drinks all the time. He's getting angry very easily. And we have Captain Roman, the young, ambitious man, the one that stays in the fort and looking for Zorro. But he's also having another side. He's in love with Lolita Pulido. Lolita Pulido, the young lady, the daughter of Carlos Pulido. She's beautiful, but she's also looking for the right man. She doesn't want to marry just for the idea of marriage. And we have the Don Diego Vega, the one from a great family. He's rich, he's young, and he's in love with Lolita Pulido. He wants to marry her, but he cannot express his feeling in the right way. And we have the governor. Oh, this man is hungry for money. He has a lot of injustice. He's hurting people. He's dealing with the natives in the wrong way just to get money. And we have the good man, Fray Felipe, the one in a church. He's helping the poor, but he's also helping Zorro. And we have Carlos Pulido, the man that once was rich, but because now he's no friend with the governor. He lost his money, but he wants to get back to his old days. And indeed, he wants to go to the rich life through his daughter, Lolita Pulido. These are the main 7 characters that we will look after in our story. Let's move to chapter 1, the Sergeant and the Dawn. It was a wild February storm. Everybody was sitting in the tavern, the town square of Reina de los Angeles in South California. And the landlord of the tavern was talking to Sergeant Gonzalez. Senor Zorro is on the road again. Sergeant Gonzalez, he was like, not again. This man, why do I always hear his name? He rides along the highway, cutting the letter Z on his enemies' faces, but never when I'm there. Sergeant Gonzalez was only looking for Zorro so he can get the reward money. He looks for money at first. Landlord then told him that they are calling him the Curse of Capistrano now. He's not only the Curse of Capistrano, he's the curse of all time. And you know what? The governor will pay a lot of money to the man who kills Zorro. But where to find him? The landlord said. He hides somewhere. One day somebody will find the place. Not if friends are helping him. You know, I'd really like him to come in here now. That was the say of Sergeant Gonzalez. He wanted to meet with him right away. And then suddenly the door opened and a gentleman entered. They thought he was Zorro, but he wasn't. He was the strange friend of Surgeon Gonzalez, Don Diego Vega. They were friends, they were close to each other, but they were very different. Don Diego was absolutely the opposite of Surgeon Gonzalez. He was a peaceful man. He doesn't get angry so quick, and he doesn't drink much, and he doesn't talk to women lovingly. So how come those two guys came together in one friendship? That's what we will come to know later on. Don Diego just entered and Surgeon Gonzalez told him, we were just talking of Zorro. I want to kill him. Don Diego Vega did not take this lightly. He got angry indeed, but peacefully he just replied, "No talk of killing, please. Zorro fights only those who take from the church or the poor, or hurt the natives. Why not leave him alone?" Surgeon Gonzalez said, "Because I want the reward money. That's all what I care about." Don Diego then understood that there is no point of arguing with a man that cares only about money. He wanted them to talk whatever they want, and he just left. After he bought everyone another drink for Surgeon Gonzalez and for the soldiers, the 4 soldiers that was with him in the tavern. Then Surgeon Gonzalez said to himself, "What a man! With his look and money, I could have any woman in the country and win any fight." And that was what he was thinking about all the time. Women, fights, anger, and money. He was looking for Zorro. He was daring Zorro to come to him. So suddenly, another man opened the door and entered, and he had a mask, a black mask on his face. Surgeon Gonzalez then was like, "Zorro?" Zorro said, "Yes, that's me. 4 days ago, you badly hurt a poor native near San Gabriel. So, I've come to teach you a lesson." Surgeon Gonzalez was laughing, but he was drunk though. We will see about that. Just then, Zorro pulled a gun, and he looked at other men in the room, and he said, "My gun will stay in my left hand, while my sword is in my right, and if any of you move, you die." He was threatening other men, so he can fight fairly with Surgeon Gonzalez. He said, "Zorro is brave, Zorro is clever, intelligent, he's no dumb, but he's cautious. He needs to guarantee that he will flee the scene unhurt so he can come again and defend the poor." The landlord then and the other men hurried to the corner of the tavern. No one interfered. Zorro fought back cleverly. His eyes were like cold fire. He's confident, but he has energy to beat his enemies. Just then someone knocked at the door. Surgeon Gonzalez was like, "Zorro is here. Okay, come and help me, please." Zorro then said, "You stupid man." And he knocked Surgeon Gonzalez's swords to the floor. Then he hit him across the face with his hand. "Never hurt a native again." And then he climbed out through a window at the back of the tavern and ran off into the stormy night. When the landlord just opened the door, two men ran inside asking about Zorro. What happened? Sergeant Gonzalez, he couldn't just tell them the truth. So what he said is, Zorro was here. He wanted to use his gun on me. But no, I fought against him, sword to sword, and I nearly won before he turned and ran. Everybody then was listening to that, and he was silent. They were surprised from what Sergeant Gonzalez just said. Was that the truth? No, it wasn't. At the same moment, Don Diego came back again, and he told him that, I heard that Zorro came. Where is his dead body? He was sarcastic. He was playing with Sergeant Gonzalez. Okay, then the surgeon said, he escaped. I couldn't stop him. Ha! Don Diego said, no, after all you talk of killing him. Don't worry, I will ask Captain Drummond to send me after him. Gonzalez said that because he was angry and he wants to get back to Zorro. The scene of the tavern disappeared, ended, and then the next day, Don Diego decided to go and pay a visit to the Pulido's family, to Don Carlos Pulido at his country house. When Don Carlos saw him, he was like, what brought Don Diego Vega here? Perhaps our luck is changing, because the Vega family were close to the governor. Don Carlos thought that being a friend to Don Diego Vega will bring him back to the friendship to the governor and bring him back to being rich. But then he asked him, what brought you here? Don Diego Vega just said, my father says that at 25 I should marry, so I need a wife. I've seen your daughter in church, and here I am. Aha! So you would like to marry Lolita, right? Yes. Do you agree to it? I do. I'm very happy for Lolita to marry somebody from the Vega family, but you must ask her yourself. Then Doña Catalina just entered. She is the mother of Lolita Pulido, and she told to Don Diego Vega, I hope that you can win my daughter's love. Oh, I don't have time to play the guitar to her. But, Signor, a young woman likes a man to win her. Aha, then I will send my servant Bernardo with his guitar to play and sing to her tonight. Don Carlos didn't know what to answer to this, so he just let it go and gave them the floor. Do you want to see her now? Don Diego Vega said, if I must. So Doña Catalina brought Lolita out, and both of them sat to talk. And the father and mother left them in the veranda, gave them a space, and went inside. And here comes the end of chapter 1. We want to start chapter 2. It was basically about Señorita Lolita. Don Diego Vega was sitting talking with Lolita, and then suddenly he surprised her. Will you marry me? She was like, this is your first visit. You're too quick. Must I ride over here for weeks before you say yes? Oh, Lolita then stood up angrily. Don Diego, you must win my heart. And if you send your servant to play the guitar to me, yes, I heard that, I'll drop hot water on him from my window. She ran then into the house, and her mother followed. Don Carlos hurried out. Ah, don't worry, women are always difficult at first, he laughed. Next time my daughter will be nicer to you. He then shook hands warmly with Don Diego. He wants this marriage to happen. He wants to be rich again. At the same time, Doña Catalina was speaking to Lolito inside the house. Come on, my daughter. He's rich, from an important family with a fine face. He's young, he's looking nice. Why don't you marry him? And that's the action of a mother when she wants to convince her daughter for the righteous thing. Lolita is not looking for that. She's not looking for the family name. She's not looking for the money. She is looking for the heart. She directly said, but no heart. I never want to see him again. Just then her father arrived and he said, you will see him again and be more friendly too. Lolita was not happy, but she was thinking, if I marry Don Diego, it will help my father. He wants to be rich again. But I just can't do it. It's too difficult. While she was sitting in her siesta time, she couldn't sleep. She was thinking about all what is happening to her. And suddenly, someone that she is interested in appeared. Someone just came, stood near her in the dark, and touched her shoulder. She was like, oh, you are? Zorro, lovely senorita. I came to your father's house to rest, but then I saw you here. So beautiful, I had to speak to you. Oh, I don't know why other men don't feel the same. Zorro then asked her, do you have no suitors? Nobody's in love with you? Could it be? I have one, but he doesn't like to court me. He doesn't like to make me love him. What a stupid man. Courting lights the fire of love. Signor, go now. Perhaps somebody will see you. Oh, you're right. If they see me, they will kill me. If they catch me. But I can't leave before I kiss your hand. Zorro wanted to pay respect to the beautiful girl. He wanted her to feel respected, to value herself as a young lady. Lolita was so taken by this, and she was thinking, what a man. Why can't Don Diego be like him? Oh, sad. And then Zorro left. But soon in the evening, Zorro came again. And he visited the house. Don Carlos, when he saw him, he said, Zorro? Doña Catalina then fainted. She lost her conscience, but Zorro wanted to make him comfortable, so he just directly said, don't worry, senor, I haven't come to steal from you. You are a good man. I just need food and drink. Don Carlos couldn't just tell no to Senor Zorro, but he'd asked him to excuse him, just to put Doña Catalina at home, at her room, and then come back with the food and the drink. Senor Zorro was kind enough to let him go with his wife, but he asked him to leave his daughter so he can guarantee that he will come back again. Don Carlos then carried his wife upstairs, and in the way he just sent a servant to the fort to ask for help. He wanted them to come and catch Zorro. At the same time, Zorro was sitting with Lolita, speaking to her. "I had to come back to see you. Please, never come again." She was afraid that they will catch him. She was afraid that they will get Zorro and put him in jail. At the same time, Don Carlos arrived. He did not want Zorro to leave. He asked him about adventures. He wanted him to talk. He wanted to delay him, to stall him until the soldiers come from the fort. After some time, Don Carlos got up, told the servant to bring the food, and he said, "Here's your food, but before you go, one last story, please." "No, senor. Zorro is smart. The soldiers from the fort will surely be here any minute." "Who told him that?" "Indeed, Lolita, she helped him. She told him that her father already called for the soldiers to come from the fort instantly. So he acted wisely. He pushed over the candles on the table, and at once the room went dark. Until later, he then whispered in the ears of Lolita. Everybody heard the sound of his horse galloping away. He escaped, Lolita thought. Soon after that, Sergeant Gonzalez and his soldiers rode up to the front door. They left at once, hurrying after Zorro. Not long after, Captain Ramon arrived. The ambitious, young captain. When he saw Lolita, he's in love. He decided not to go after Zorro. He decided just to stay and wait in the house and speak to her. He said, "That Zorro is a coward." Suddenly, the door of a tall closet in the room opened. Zorro was hiding inside that closet. Zorro came out with his sword in hand, and he told him, "Take back those wolves or fight." "What? But we heard you escaped." "Ha! My horse knows when to gallop away without me, and when to come back quietly for me." Captain Ramon then said, "You won't escape me. I will fight you." The two men then fought, but soon Zorro put his sword through his enemy's shoulder. Captain Ramon fell to the floor, and Zorro put his sword away. "Don't worry, he will live." And with one last look at Lolita, he left the house, jumping on his horse, which was waiting, and galloped away. Soon after that, Don Diego arrived back to the Pulido's family, but he wasn't feeling very much happy because he saw Lolita sitting and cleaning the shoulder of Captain Ramon. He felt jealous. He was angry at that. But then he started to speak to Don Carlos about Zorro's visit to their house. But after Lolita finished her job, she went and sat by the fire. Don Diego went to sit and talk with her there. And then Captain Ramon went to Don Carlos and told him surprisingly, "I would like to marry your daughter, senor. Does she have any suitor?" That was the end of chapter 2 about Señorita Lolita. We start chapter 3. It talks about three suitors, three gentlemen that is in love with Lolita Pulido and trying to convince her to marry one of them. Who's the third one, do you think? You will come to know here. So while Captain Drummond is sitting talking to Carlos Pulido, the Don told him, I gave Don Diego my permission to court Lolita already, but if she doesn't agree to marry him, the captain just said, then I can't try, right? Yeah, you can. Don Carlos indeed did not want to offend any of the gentlemen. He wants to give his daughter a chance. And while Lolita was sitting with Don Diego, she watched Drummond. She knew that he liked her, but she didn't like him. Just then, Gonzalez and his men arrived. We followed Zorro into the hills. 10 other outlaw friends of his came and fought us there, and in the end, escaped. Freely. Don Diego was sitting there, and he was like, but the captain fought Senor Zorro here while you were away. Oh my God, the liar is exposed again and again and again. Captain Ramon then said, yes, you were just following Zorro's clever horse, which left here without a rider. I met the criminal himself when he came out of the closet over there and fought against me. Gonzalez was like, no, then we must catch him and kill the outlaw. Captain, do I have your permission to take some soldiers and go after him? We all like that energy that comes from Sergeant Gonzalez. Every time we discover that he's a liar, every time he doesn't do anything, yet every time he acts like, oh my God, I'm the one that will catch Zorro. I'm the one that is after him all the time. Let him try. The captains then agreed and let Sergeant Gonzalez to take some men and run after him. Don Diego then asked it to go, and he told the sergeant while he's going, it will be a hard walk. Then perhaps it's better for me to stay in town. But I'm worried for the Pulidos, so please give me news of where you ride and of Zorro, of course. Soon after that, Ramon and Gonzalez left with the men for the fort. Lolita took Don Diego to the door. Again, he's asking her, well, will you marry me? I'm still thinking about it. Good night then, Senorita. I'll visit you again soon. After that, Senorita Lolita just went to her father and mother and she was crying. I can't marry Don Diego. There is no life in him. Doña Catalina then told her that Captain Ramon has also asked you to court you. She was like, oh my God, Captain Ramon is nearly as bad. I can't marry any of them. Her father was like, you are difficult to please, Lolita. Don Diego's a rich man and from a good family. I think that he was just a little jealous when he found Captain Ramon here. Make him more jealous and please try to like him. Yes, father, but I don't want to marry him yet. Senorita Lolita did not decide. And she cannot decide. She's looking for something else. But she knows deep inside her heart that this marriage will help her father. In bed, she just remembered Zorro, and she was like, what a man. Why is he an outlaw? Can't he be a good man? The next morning, Don Diego left his house to find his friend Sergeant Gonzalez, and 20 more soldiers in town square are preparing to run after Zorro and fight him and bring him to jail. Sergeant Gonzalez just asked him why he's up early. He was like, I am leaving for my house in the country. But can you tell me where is Zorro these days? Nowhere near your country house. Don't worry, Don Diego. We have heard that he's in Pala. We are going after him there. The news came to them that Zorro just left to another city, Pala, and the soldiers are going after him. Gonzalez and the soldiers left, and just before Don Diego leaves to his country house, he sent a letter. He sent a letter to Don Carlos, inviting him to the house. He said, I'd like to invite you to stay in my townhouse while I'm away. He thought that because Zorro was coming to his house all the time, the Polides family will be more safe in Zorro and Don Diego's townhouse. When the letter arrived to Don Carlos, the family was like, that's a good plan. But Lolita was worried there. Well, I'd like to visit the town, but is it right? Won't people talk about Don Diego and me? Her dad was like, my child, don't worry about that. He won't be there, and we can come back home when he arrives back. So the Polides family went to the townhouse of Don Diego. Don Diego's house surprisingly was full of beautiful and expensive things. And the mother of Lolita was like, wow, this will all belong to Lolita if she decides to marry him. Lolita still did not care about all these things. She just went that evening to the house to read some books. She picked a book that was on Don Diego's table. Strangely, it was about love poetry. And to be more strange, most of the books in the house were about love, dangerous adventures, horse riding, and sword fighting. My God, Lolita, she was thinking, that is absolutely the opposite of Don Diego's character. Perhaps I have made a mistake about him. Why can't I give the man a chance? Just then, Captain Ramon knew that the Polides are staying in the Don Diego's house. She came, he knocked the door. The servant there told him that the father and mother are outside, yet he really wants to come the next day. Ramon pushed past the servant and walked directly into the room where Lolita sat reading. Signor, why are you here? Last night your father gave me permission to court you. I know that Don Diego wants to marry you too, but surely you can't prefer him to me. I am Captain Ramon, the confident, the ambitious, the young soldier. And he's thinking, she cannot just prefer Don Diego over him. Captain, you must leave. I am alone. Aha! Good. Then no one can stop me. The captain then caught her, pulled her quickly to him. Angrily, she just slapped him on the face. Stop there! Cried a deep voice behind them. Ramon turned and Lolita gave a happy cry when she saw Zorro at the door. On your knees, man, and say sorry to the señorita. With a bad shoulder and no sword to fight with, what could Ramon do? He went on his knees and said sorry, and then Zoro kicked him out of the house. Thank you. Lolita then was very happy and thrilled by the presence of Zoro again and again and again. And she decided to express to him the love. I love you, Senor. Leave your criminal life and marry me. Zoro then said, Senorita, I love you too, but I can't. I must go now. Good night. And saying that, he climbed out of the window into the dark night and disappeared as is usual. So until we meet in chapter 4, I wish you all good night for Zoro's stories. Thank you so much, and I will catch you soon.